Hi everybody and welcome to our recording of Long Island City, Here I Come by Geese. Let's get into it. The first section of this song, I'm going to call it the A section, is going to be an E flat major. And there's only two sections of this song. He really just repeats the A section for most of the song. So the A section is going to look like this. You're going to start on I think he starts the song off with like an E flat, like bass, like sort of rock, like maybe fifths in the right hand. So B flat, E in the right hand, and then just E flats alternating in the left. So, and then when he comes in on Nobody Knows, it's going to be an A flat chord. So nobody, and I'll do octaves there too in the left hand. Nobody knows to an E flat. You can have that G up top if you want. Where they're going, you're going to come down and do like an E flat 7, E flat 7 over G. Nobody knows where they're going. Up to A flat minor 7 flat 5. No, nobody knows where they're going. To a regular C minor. Nobody knows where they're going. E flat major 7 over D. Going except me. At E flat. So I'll play that really slowly for you to see. So you start again with this like, and then nobody knows where they're going. Nobody knows where they're going. Nobody knows where they're going except me. And it's really going to look like that for most of the A section. A couple of things that I want to note is you can do different inversions throughout, but really the core that you want to keep is this sort of A flat inversion and the E flat inversion. So if you want to start moving up the octave to build tension, you can be like, nobody knows, right, where they're going. Nobody knows where they're going. You can sort of move in that direction and use your inversions up the keyboard to build the tension as Cameron does. But that's mostly the A section. Before he goes into the B section, he'll sort of do this classic Cameron Winter, like alternating between the 4, the A flat, and the 1, the E flat. And he'll just sort of hold this A flat 5th in the left hand. So sort of move into the B section. In the B section, I can't really get it on piano the right way because it's really the bass and guitar that are driving this section. But what you should know if you do want to play it is it's a transition from E flat major to E flat minor. So the do 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 do. You get it. So what that's going to look like, the bass is doing this. So E flat, B flat, E flat, B, A flat. And you'll hear it on the record. I think Cameron will play this like very cool dominant chord with a flat 9 on it. So it kind of sounds like a train's coming, and he'll voice it kind of like this, like do. So while the bass is going do 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 do, again right before we get to the B section, you kind of hear him play this cool E flat 7 with that sharp 9. So E flat G, D flat. We're gonna do F sharp is what it says, but I don't know if that's right, and B flat. Do, 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 do. Cool. And then you arrive at the B section. I can't play it up to speed with the bass and guitar playing, but I can show you what they are so you're familiar with it. It's just gonna be the E flat minor scale, E flat minor pentatonic. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start on this D flat, to an E flat, back to the D flat, B flat, A flat, G flat. So a little faster. Again, I can't play it up to speed. So that's going to be playing in the bass and the guitar, and Cameron's just kind of losing it. I've seen him play it a couple times in videos live, and he's just kind of losing it, just playing all the black keys really, but keeping in mind that E flat minor chord when you're doing it. It's just like to build the tension. So you you'll build, and then of course you'll return back to the A section. The A section is going to look virtually the same. Again, you're going to have this nobody knows where they're going. And again, this should be obvious in the song, but he's just really doing the Cameron Winter like back and forth crazy frenetic thing that he does. Where they're going, nobody knows where they're going except me. The one difference in this section is when he says Long Island City, here I come, or whenever he says the words Long Island City, instead of just doing this C flat minor, E flat major 7 over D, what we did before we're going back to the E flat, he's gonna go to this C minor, up to the D, and then back to the C immediately. And then A flat, B flat, E flat. So it's just slightly different. Instead of going C minor, D, E flat, it's gonna be C minor, D flat, C, A flat, B flat, E flat. So Long Island City, eventually, and you'll see it a couple times in the song. And then again, before he goes back for the final part of the song where you go back to the B section, it's just gonna be more of that. Yeah, that's basically gonna be the whole run through of this song. Again, he changes it up kind of every time he plays it, but I would highly encourage you to mess around with your inversions on this song. As with many Cameron Winter piano songs, learn your inversions, particularly for E flat and A flat. Yeah, and sort of just fool around until you can find a sort of thing that works. The main thing is the bass, the knows where they're going. Nobody knows where they're going. Nobody knows where they're going except me. That's the main thing to keep in mind. Other than that, you can sort of fool around and find what works for you and what you like. Anyway, enjoy.